Hi Gemini, I'm Pam and welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading for November 2018. This month I'm using the Aquarian Tarot deck. And remember, these are general readings, and to get messages pertaining specifically for you, you would need a private reading. This recording is for Gemini Sun, Gemini Ascendant, and Gemini Moon. Please be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign to gain more insight and information, because some months they're going to resonate more for you than your sun sign will. All that being said, Gemini, now on to your Psychic Tarot reading for November 2018. First card you have here, Gemini, is the Two of Swords, and this could be a block, a stop, or a stalemate. You could be protecting your heart from something or being protective. You could be closing yourself off from something. You could not want to see something too clearly. It can also mean something is being blocked from you, even. You could be blocking it, or you could be the blockee or the blocker. There's something that you have to figure out on your own. I get that there's some kind of turbulence or something that's kicked up, and I feel like you don't have the answers or the solutions to it. So it could be, for some of you, I feel like it's computer related, work related, or something to do with business, something that you're unsure about or you're unclear about, or and the mechanics of something need to be figured out, and because you're being blocked from knowing it now, but you have to be the one to solve it and figure it out. Be cautious of the words you use around superiors. If you work in a corporation or for a big company, or it doesn't even have to be a big one, if there's bosses around you, really super be careful of the words you use, because if you come off in an abrupt or a sarcastic manner, so it's not just what you say, it's your tone and how you say things, because you don't want something to come back and smack you in the butt. You don't want that to happen. So if you have to have any important meetings, even if it's any kind of legal or court situations, also you have to be extra cautious in November of what you're saying and the energy you're putting behind it, of how you're saying it as well. And I get that for some of you, there's also, some of you may be experiencing something that you can't complete, and it's like the resistance is to completing it is ridiculous. It's almost like you can't break through something you're trying to finish. It could have to do with money, accounts, bookkeeping, finances, some financial thing you're trying to work on or figure out. Some of you are not trusting of someone or some situation that's going on around you either. And you're also feeling to me like you're tired of putting yourself out there for other people, and then or knocking yourself out at work, but it may be individuals, and you're not feeling like you're getting appreciated or what you're doing is reciprocated either. So you might want to listen to Two of Swords, because sometimes these cards mean one specific avenue or two things. Yours was kind of multiple things here. They could have been interconnected, but that's hard for me to pick up in a general reading. So next card you have here is the King of Rods, and this is a fire sign male. This is either a Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. That could be their sun sign, their rising sign, or their moon sign. Could also be a female, even though it's a king. Some of you may be starting up some type of relationship with this King of Rods, and it may be really off the hook in some ways. And they're really eager to prove themselves to you or show you who they are or how they can be of service to you. So if it's not a love relationship, it could also be somebody that is trying to impress you because they want you to hire them for some, maybe you need them to do construction at your home, or you own your own business and you're looking for an assistant or somebody that can come in and do a specific job. But for some of you, it is about love. So you just have to think about that and see how it plays out for you. I do feel this King of Rods is smart, witty, intelligent. They can be fun. He's like very, trying to get very organized and driven about something. You know, for some of you, he could also be showing you how something is done. And he could be a professor, a teacher, or a mentor to you also comes up here. He does have a heart of gold, so I do feel that this is a good person. I'm not picking up that this is a person of contention for you. For the majority of you, I'm not getting that. His will to succeed is beyond anything I feel you have ever seen before. And even though you have strong will and desire to succeed, Gemini, I mean, most of the Geminis I've known have been that way, but I'm also hearing that his will and desire to succeed is like unsurpassed. He's going to help you with something. He's going to help you get something going on and get something in motion. Now, again, for some of you, this is love. For some of you, it's somebody you're hiring. And for some of you, it's somebody teaching you and instructing you in something. That's how the three different ways he's coming up here. He is a positive person, and he's a positive influence to others. Now, I keep saying he because I do feel it's a male more strongly, but for some of you, this actually could be a female King of Rods. They're a hard worker. They've done so much, traveled through a lot, worked really hard, been through the struggles to get where they are today. So it's not like, just know, whoever this king is, King of Rods is, they weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Whatever they're doing today, they worked extremely hard to get there. It wasn't like given to them, handed to them on a silver platter. So the next card you have, Gemini, is the Hermit. And this can be your spirit guides showing you the way. The Hermit could be lighting the path and showing you the way to go. You could also be the Hermit where you're taking a step back, getting a lay of the land and seeing how things are going before you make your step to move forward. And the Hermit is you'd still be guided by your spirit guides here. Some of you are getting ready to take some kind of long distance journey and maybe even doing some sightseeing or traveling. You know, some of you are actually going to show people how it's done. And you are going to be giving some kind of classes, speeches, lectures, mentoring, or teaching, or showing people, teaching people in some way. So I forgot to mention this. This King of Rods could even be you, Gemini, if you have a fire sign as your moon sign or rising sign, because in this Hermit card sounds a lot like this. And in the Hermit card, they're talking about you. So for many of you Geminis or that have fire as your rising sign or moon sign, this King of Rods was you. You know, the Hermit also wants you to be realistic about your goals, but yet open up to new possibilities here as well. And the Hermit is also trying to get you to have some kind of revived interest in something. Is it in dating and meeting somebody new? Is it a revived interest in your work or career? Is it a revived interest in your, personal, appearance or your home? I don't know, but the Hermit is also here trying to get you to revive your interest in something. Only you, Gemini, can figure out in November 2018 what it is that's trying to, the guides want you to revive. Some of you Geminis may have felt kind of lonely, isolated, or a little lost, and you may have at times also felt like you're part of like the cattle, and you don't want to be part of the cattle. You want to stand out in some way and get recognized. So maybe some of you have gotten disheartened in your career or in your life in some way where you feel like, oh, I'm just another worker bee, or I'm a piece of I'm a cattle going along with the group. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm getting here, it sounds like you want to be stand out from the crowd. You want to be acknowledged and recognized. That's the way the guides are stating it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a worker bee at all. I also feel that the guides want you to know, Gemini, or they see you getting upset too much over little things, that you may be making something out of nothing. Like little things may have been irritating you lately. They're not criticizing you. They're just wanting you to be aware that they're witnessing you do this. And so for them to bring it up, it might be, wait, stop. Am I actually doing that? Hold on. Am I getting upset when a guy cuts me off? I mean, yeah, everybody gets mad over that. But like to the proportion you're getting upset, or like, you know, you planted a bunch of plants and only 2 of them grew out of 10 plants and the rest of them died or didn't grow, and you're really mad about that. I mean, I'm just saying these are something the guides wanted to say to you here. You have the 3 of Rods next. This is success. This is waiting patiently for success to come in, or letting go of something so success can come to you. Or you could be at the beginning of something, starting something that's going to become successful for you. You're putting your pedal to the metal and you're going to be driving this train forward, and you're not going to take no for an answer. So I really do feel that you are going to start to become very dogmatic in your approach about achieving some kind of goal that you have. And any kind of challenges that you had at work, if you're out in the working world, you're going to break through them. You're going to break through or jump over those hurdles or break through those challenges in November. Could even happen. Timing is going to be different for all of you. I always say this in every reading probably, but you know, some of you this could have happened a year ago. Some of you it's happening right now, and some of you it's going to happen a year from now or somewhere in between, because that's the nature of psychic predictions. Private ones and here on YouTube. Some of you Geminis may be retaining a lawyer, or to have them give you advice about something, or to look over some kind of documents of some sort, some kind of contracts, possibly for some of you Geminis. Some of you that are married are going through, or have been considering or speculating about going through getting divorced. I'm not saying you're doing it, but I'm getting it comes up like thinking about it. Maybe that's why some of you are going to talk to a lawyer, some of you. Those of you that have been out of work are going to get the promise of being gainfully employed. So a new job is coming in for some of you unemployed Geminis, and you may find out in November you are getting the job. Whether you started in November, some of you might. Some of you, it might be a little later than that, but a promise of getting gainfully employed comes up here. And that also can apply to you Geminis that are kind of dissatisfied with your job and you want to move on to another job, and you've been actively looking. So it's not just for the out of work Geminis, it's also for the seekers of work would be getting something new here. So the last card you have here of the tarot portion, which I'm sorry to say, I know you're not going to like this card, Gemini, but I'm not against Gemini, so don't think I'm pulling cards that I want to say anything negative here. You have 9 of Swords. Now, this can be migraine headaches, sleepless nights. It can be grieving over the breakup of a love relationship. It could also be not feeling well, or you could be worried about somebody else not feeling well. My dog just snored in the background if you heard that. I feel like some of you Geminis feel like, why me? And why do I feel, I'm feeling like overwrought and wrung out about something. And it's like, it's your emotions kicking up here. And I do feel like there's some things that some of you Geminis have found out where you may perceive it as a betrayal. I don't know if it fully is. It might be, but I feel you're perceiving it as such, that there's been some family members that have done or said something that you feel like hurt by, or that this is some kind of betrayal. And you may feel like judgment is harsh, and that somebody may have said something that's making you question yourself, and you may feel badly, like in some way you may have let somebody down, or you're not living up to either your own expectations of what you had for yourself, or somebody else's, like your parents maybe, or a sibling, or a spouse, or a significant other. Because I see this as for some of you, this is part of it. I feel like you're kind of beating yourself up here, because I also pick up the energy of like, I haven't done things the right way, or I didn't follow through on something in the right manner I should have. Or it's like, I feel like you're being a harsh critic to yourself for some of you here. For some of you, I feel like you're trying to figure out ways to transmute this energy. And I don't know that you really can figure out quite how to do it, because I feel like some of you are going through some kind of emotional swings here. And for some of you, that could involve like hormones. It could be a hormonal thing. It could also be with certain things, the foods that you're eating could be causing it, because food heals. It does heal, but certain foods can also bring up a lot of disruptive emotions and energy in us. Unless we become really educated about certain types of food, it can greatly affect us. Some of you may also be upset here because there may be some kind of process that you started that either it got lost on the computer, or the paperwork or documents got lost in some way, and so you have to do something all over again that you already did and completed. So for some of you, it can even be that, because that's also being mentioned here. So keep in mind, these are general readings, Gemini. And if what I'm saying to you here today does not make sense to you, you really need to wait till you're in the thick of December to see if these predictions are going to pan out, because sometimes people say those didn't make sense. But if it's a prediction, you're not going to know until after November passes. And also, too, maybe your rising sign and your moon sign this month are giving you your messages, and not your sun sign. But let's continue on. Now I used to do this in the beginning when I first started on YouTube. I would pull an angel card of some sort, or an oracle card of some sort. So I pulled a card for you from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle cards, and the card I got for you is Father Healing. Your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. So you got Father Healing in this Oracle card. So let's see what the guides have to say about that. I do feel like some of you need to come clean about what is really bothering you. Some of you may not really realize, or maybe in the past you didn't realize it, but I feel you're having some kind of spiritual awakening, that you're starting to realize some things that have bothered you for a while, and what the root cause of it is, so you can clear it out and clear it away. Sometimes once you have an awareness of why something, what's a trigger or a problem for you, when you come to find out, be clear on what it is, that helps heal it and move it away. Some of you didn't trust people in your life as much as you should have. And some of you Geminis have trusted the wrong people. And you may have even, your intuition may have even kicked up and told you that, but you could have ignored it and gone through with it anyway. Some of you Geminis may not like what I'm going to say here, but I do hear that for some of you, your father held, or still does hold, too much power over your life. Now, some of you may say, that's not true. I didn't grow up knowing my father. Or that's not true. My father and I had have a great relationship. But if you, I'm just telling you, this is the message that's coming up here. So for some of you, You may not have thought your father was having too much control over your life, or maybe I should say, maybe not control, but too much effect on you, even today. Even if you're, not 20 something, but more like 50, 60 something, it still could be the case. So it's just something for you to think about, Gemini. You just have to think about it. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. I want to thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing and for Google Plusing. I do truly appreciate that. And please remember to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos to YouTube, and it does help support the channel. It does make a difference. So thank you so much for that. And if you're interested, I have 3 special videos. First of all, if you're interested in getting a continuation of this reading, like I do every month, where I look into my crystal and give you additional predictions and messages from my spirit guides for you, for your sign, Gemini, for November 2018, you can access those videos for download and purchase by clicking on that link below this video, and it will take you to those videos on Vimeo. I also did, in the middle of the month of October, I did the Venus in retrograde psychic tarot reading for each sign of the zodiac, and there I used the Aquarian tarot deck, and I pulled 2 cards for you from the Aquarian tarot deck, and I'm sorry, not 2, 3 cards, and this would be, the first card is about what you, in this wonderful, spectacular, fun Venus in retrograde that I'm sure we all had a ball in. I mean, some signs are affected worse than others. I know Aquarians were getting it. Anyway, the first card is going to be about what you were struggling with during Venus in retrograde. The second card is what you are clearing out during the Venus in retrograde period. And the third card is how, or what, in what manner, and how you're moving forward. And remember, these predictions, even though Venus in retrograde is only going to last until, I think, November 16th, and then the shadow period, which is pretty much just as powerful as the retrograde itself, lasts for another month. So it's only going to go out until December 16th. However, how you're moving forward with whatever you were dealing with, facing, struggling, whatever created tension and you had to look at and focus on during this Venus in retrograde, however you're moving forward is going to last for quite a while. So if you're interested in those videos, that link is also below this video. And then the third special series I have that I did in the middle of October is spirit animal messages and gemstone crystal readings for each sign of the zodiac, where I pulled 2 cards from the Stephen Farmer Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides Oracle cards, and I looked into I pulled a gemstone for you out of this velvet bag of gemstones I have, and whatever gemstone really jumped into my hand, I pulled that out for your sign, and I read the stone psychically and gave you psychic predictions and messages about how the stone would be helpful to you to work with it in meditation, put it on your chakras, sleep with it under your pillow, carry it in your pocket or your purse, meditate on it. And I also give you the written facts of the energetic properties of the stone as well, and what it's connected to, what planets and what zodiac sign, and all of that is also in that part. Now that, in the part about the gemstones, those messages are tending to be more spiritual. However, there is predictions and other types of messages as well in those readings. So if you're interested in those, they're also available on my Vimeo on-demand channel, and you can get them by clicking on the other link below this video. And all of these videos I make, that I record and put on Vimeo, are all available on my website, which is www.theluckymermaid.com. Click on the videos tab on my menu, And they're the 3 I talk about right here. They're going to be the first 3 video series listed on that page. You just find the heading for the video series you're interested in, click on that link, and it will take you to those videos on Vimeo. So I hope you have an absolutely phenomenal November, Gemini, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.